Political Science and an MA in Social Studies Education from the University of Iowa with a focus in education policy. During his graduate study, he worked for the University of Iowa Center of Human Rights, teaching courses and advocating for immigrant and workers' rights across the Midwest. David has been a champion in increasing emphasis on the arts and infusing creativity and collaboration in the classroom, while simultaneously advocating strongly against the privatization movement and high-stakes testing reforms. He has outspokenly been on the front lines fighting for these ideals through appearances in local and national media, addressing current and future educators in over 25 states, organizing issue advocacy campaigns and get out the vote efforts, multiple trips to lobby Congress and the White House, and even an invitation to the United Nations. And on top of that, David has twice, in 2013 and 2014, been nationally recognized for his efforts by Forbes magazine in their 30 Under 30, Changing the World Right Now. I'd like to introduce to you David Jaden.
How we doing, Texas? You guys are a little more awake. I was up in Lansing, Michigan this morning speaking at a conference, and I think everyone was still asleep. That was at like 8:30 this morning. They were all thinking about the basketball games that were on later on today too. But thank you very much, Brandon. I could stand up here for the next 20 minutes and just like thank people in Texas because there's so many amazing advocates for education and for getting young people involved in education in this state. But instead of doing that, just join me once in thanking all of these people, especially Clinton, especially Reed and Noel. But the most important thank you of all, except of course the thank you to all of you for deciding to spend your weekend here instead of doing whatever else you might be doing this weekend. How about a giant round of applause for this awesome wait staff and hotel staff? So as Rita was up here talking, it reminded me once more how scary it is, how our minds work exactly alike. Because she basically gave like the cliff notes of what I'm about to say here. So thank you for preempting that, Rita. If you all recall, this is a little bit of deja vu for me. I was here last year, and I was speaking about a lot of these same issues. Raise your hand if you were here last year. Yeah, keep your hand up if you remember a single thing I said last year. Yeah, that's what I've come to find, mostly from sitting in those chairs, but also being up here, is that tomorrow and a week and a month and a year, you're not going to remember exactly what I said up here. You're not going to, and you shouldn't, because there's a lot of stuff that you had today that those are the things you should remember. But what I hope you do get out of this tonight, and I hope I can be a small part, is that you leave this conference with an inspiration to take action. Not necessarily, oh man, David said this and David said that, but you know, David got up there and he said a couple words, and I left that conference thinking, man, I should really do something. Not, I mean, I should do something now, I should do something in a year, my entire life, I should be advocating for public education. And that's what I hope you guys can get out of this. So you guys think, hey, that was the conference where I really decided I'm going to get more involved with the TSTA student program. That was the conference I realized how important it is for us as educators to be advocates outside just the four walls of our classroom. So I hope I can remember all those experiences for me, and I hope this conference right here will be that one for you. As Brandon said, I get the great pleasure and honor of serving a 2-year term as the president and chairperson of the National Education Association Student Program. Many of you probably have heard of that and know what that is, but I always run into a good number of people at a conference who say, I get them talking like, oh hey, I'm really interested in your organization, how do I join? But you know, fact of the matter is, what you probably know is that you're members of the TSTA student program on your local campuses. You're here, so you probably know you're state members of the Texas State Teachers Association student program. What you might not know is that you also join the 60,000 members across the country as part of the National Education Association student program. And that is charitable. just like you, they are future educators who don't want to have to wait until they're in the classroom to start making that impact. They want to start right now. And it's so inspiring to be able to be here with you all. This is the best part of my job, getting to come out here, hear from you guys, hear your stories, hear what inspires you, what motivates you, because that keeps me going when I'm in Washington, D.C. I'm trying to advocate on behalf of not just future educators, but as college students. And I try my best to do that for you. I'm also curious, I'm sorry, it's been a long day. Did I just ask whose first conference this is? Did I ask that yet? No, I did not. Whose first conference is this? Holy cow! That's exciting because my first conference back in Iowa, where I'm from, the University of Iowa, go Hawks, anyone? No one? Okay, not Hawks. Okay. Go Longhorns? Go Longhorns? Okay. Are you hissing at me? No, that's okay, I thought you were hissing at me. I'm a nice guy, I promise. I remember my very first conference up in Iowa that I went to, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I had no idea, but then all these speakers came up and I went to all these sessions, and I left that conference. I went into that conference thinking, okay, cool, weekend away from my hometown, I can go do something, meet some people, and that'll be it. I left that conference more inspired than I ever have been in my life. And that's the only reason I'm here today, is because I went to that one conference. I heard speakers, I said, holy cow, I want to get more involved. I want to say yes. I want to go back to my campus and start doing some of these things that everyone's been talking about. So it's just really exciting for me to see first-time conference goers and thinking, hey, 2 years from now, you can hopefully be up here standing in this role, because I'm going to be out of here soon. They're kicking me out. And someone's going to be standing up here. And if you're interested in getting more involved at the state, national level, talk to Brandon and I. I'm here all night. I'm here tomorrow morning. And talk to us, because we need more leaders. And we need more leaders from Texas. You guys got to bring some of that Texas spirit up to the national. Just take a second to look around this room and just really think about the opportunities that we all have here sitting in this room. It's cliche and it's fun to say and it's cool to say that we're the future of education, but that is what this is. We are the future educators of Texas. We are the future leaders in education in this country. And we have all chosen a profession that every day we have the opportunity to go into a classroom and make a child feel safe in a world that's so scary otherwise. We have the opportunity every day to make students think in ways that they never thought possible, to inspire students to have a lifelong love for subject matter. And for you math teachers, I don't know how you do it, but you do it. People love math, and it's because of their math teachers. They tried to inspire me, it didn't work. But it's amazing the fact that we can walk into our job every single day and know that that could be the day that I change a child's life forever. And that's an inspiring job to be able to have. But if you also look around this room, and you cut this room directly in half, if we were all starting our first teaching job today, in 5 years, half of us would no longer be there.
Not this one.
Not that half. This half would no longer be there. But think about that. And that's not because we'd be fired or it's because for half of us in 5 years, it's just going to be, there's going to be too much that we can't take anymore. It's going to be too tough. There's going to be too much going on. It's going to be too difficult that we're going to choose a different profession. We are no longer going to pursue our passion. And that is a new phenomenon. That's not the way it was a generation ago. That's not the way it was a decade ago. That is new. And that is because right now, today, we are entering the profession of teaching at an extremely, extremely difficult time. It's a time where every time we turn around, more and more resources are being pulled away from our public schools and put elsewhere. It's a time where the people who control those resources, for a lot of them, they're more concerned about the bubble sheet scores on one test that our kids take than they are about the full development and learning of our children. every day we are being asked to do more with less. And every day that, despite the fact that in this country right now, students are graduating, achieving, and going to colleges at the highest rates they ever have. But constantly we get told that we are failing as teachers. Right now in this country, when you account for poverty, that elephant in the room that no politician or no corporate interest wants to talk about, when you account for poverty in this country, we are the highest achieving nation in the world. But yet we turn around every single day and we are told that our public schools are failing and we need to close them. This is a difficult time. This is a very difficult time. At every turn, individuals and organizations who have no idea what it's like to do our job and to major in education are telling us that we're not doing good enough. And the sad thing is we've allowed them to do that. We're allowing them to do that. But the exciting thing is that we have the opportunity to change that narrative. We have the opportunity to say that no longer are we going to allow a corporate interest or a politician's agenda come out and tell us that our public schools are failing and that they're going to pull resources away and then tell me that I'm not doing my job good enough. We can say that no longer are we going to allow someone with 5 weeks of training or anyone with a college degree to come in and do my job because they don't think that I'm a professional. We don't have to allow that anymore. We can be the ones that reclaim that narrative. And we can be the ones that say we are professionals and we deserve to start being treated like it, we deserve to start being paid like it, and we deserve to start getting the autonomy over our classrooms and our schools that we deserve, because darn it, we are great teachers. But we can stand here and I can preach to you guys like a Baptist preacher all night long if you want me to. I can really start throwing on my southern accent if you guys want me to. And we can sit here and we can applaud and we can agree, but we have to act. We are in a day and age where being a great teacher, raise your hand if you don't want to be the best teacher you can be. Okay, good. Because I want to kick you out if you raise your hand. And this also means everyone's listening. Some people, raise your hand. Sure. So that's good to know. If we want to be the greatest teachers we can be, no longer is that just content knowledge, pedagogy, classroom management. Not that those three things aren't all vitally important. It takes those three things to be a really great teacher and a heck of a lot more. But the thing it also takes in this day and age, we have to be an advocate and an activist outside of our classroom. We have to be. We don't have a choice. Because if we're not the ones out there, it's going to be someone else who doesn't have our students' best interest in mind, who doesn't have teaching in public schools' best interest in mind. It has to be us. And the really cool thing is that we don't have to wait until we're teachers to start doing that. We get to start right now. And that is what the NEA Student Program and the Texas State Teachers Association Student Program are all about. Having a voice and being an advocate while we're still college students preparing to be teachers. And that's why I'm always so excited to be here in Texas, because you do have, and it's been said and I will say it again, you have leadership in this state who is committed to the future of this state. And it's unlike any other state. Don't think I come to every single state and say this. Oh, Clinton's great, Rita's great, you know. No, these people are awesome. Take advantage of them, because you won't get that in other places. So there was one more point I wanted to make, but I lost my spot, so give me 1 second here. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. You guys have had an awesome opportunity today. You've been giving a great opportunity to come here to this conference, to get some amazing information throughout the day. But the question I'm going to leave with you, the challenge I'm going to give you, is what do you want to do with that information? Are you going to leave here tonight or tomorrow and go back to college and get, involved in everything else you do? Because I know y'all are busy. We're all doing a million things. And forget about it all? Or are you going to go back and, use some of it but keep it with yourself? Or are you going to go back and use this information to build and engage students on your campuses to build a stronger program, build a stronger voice for future educators? That's what I'll leave you with. the challenge to go back and take that information and do something more with it. Because this is an incredible opportunity, and hopefully you also leave, and years down the road you think, I don't know what that guy was thinking he looked good in a pink tie, but I think he said something that got me inspired to be an advocate for public education, because that's what's going to take in this country, and we will reclaim this debate, but it has to be us. It has to be us. Thank you for having me. Thank you for being here. You are all awesome. I love you.
All right, yeah, I want to thank David. That is amazing energy right there. I love hearing that. All right, Clinton's going to come up now, and we're going to do some awards. Noel.